I'd like to convene this meeting of the Susquehanna Township Board of Commissioners. I would note that all commissioners are present, with the exception of Commissioner Norford, who is excused. We did meet in executive session, discuss matters of personnel and real estate. And we'll have a pledge of allegiance followed by a moment of silence. And I would just ask that in the moment of silence, if you could, it's in your heart and he's in your background, if you could set aside some thoughts for Stan Lawson, longtime resident of this community, longtime political figure in this community, sat on this board for 20 years, and occupied this middle chair for a long time. And he was laid to rest last week, and we're going to be honoring him with a proclamation later on tonight. But you would just keep Stan in your prayers. Tonight we'll have the pledge, and if I could ask Commissioner Cross to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Welcome everybody. We'll begin with petitions, complaints, suggestions from citizens. Anybody wish to address the board tonight? Yes, ma'am. Just come up to the podium and state your name and address. Try to keep your comments to 3 minutes, please.
That'll be very short.
All right.
My name is Sonia Woodard. I live at 2016 Locust Lane, right across from the Egmont Playground. So my issue is about the trash pickup at the playground. The playground has this huge trash bin for the York waste disposal to pick up, and we also have a recycle bin. Unfortunately, people don't always use the bins appropriately, and many times they leave large items right outside of the trash bins. They definitely don't use the recycle bin for recyclable items. It's used for everything but recyclable. So the dilemma is the trash people do not pick up the recycle bin, the recycle people don't pick up the recycle bin, and in many instances it gets overflowed. The large items that are set out in front of either bin does not get picked up by anyone either. So I normally call Susquehanna Township, some department, and I'm always received with the utmost of concern, and eventually the items are taken away. I'm not sure by who, but they do resolve it. But my concern is this one item has been there for 3 weeks. I thought I'd wait and see if it would automatically just disappear, and it hasn't. So I thought while this meeting was happening tonight, I'd ask, is it my responsibility to call the township to have these items removed, or can we put something in place that when the trash people come by, they've come by for 3 weeks now, and they haven't taken it? The recycle bin is ready to overflow, and no one has addressed that either because I haven't placed a call. And I've been placing these calls, but I just thought, well, maybe there's a better way to make sure that this is done if I don't place a call. So I'm just here tonight to raise that concern that we need to address those two bins.
Manager Eberly, you want to kick that around with your key staffers? And,
Yes, thank you for bringing that to our attention on an ongoing basis. You shouldn't have to do that. We'll do what we can with Penn Waste to make sure that.
Okay, I've lived there
do that on
9
a
years, and for
regular
9 years, I've placed calls.
Yeah.
People don't leave stuff every week. I'm not saying it's ongoing, but when it does happen, if the trash people are going by and seeing it, and it's right there where, I don't want to take any more time, but it's right at the driveway where the township drives in to dump their waste material. So the township sees it because they drive through there every day, 4 and 5 times a day, and yet it still sits until I make a call.
all right. Well, thank you. Anybody else wish to address the board? Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Colleen Petty, and from 4486 Continental Drive, next door to good evening, everyone, esteemed members of the township. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to address you. As mentioned, my name is Khalid Bhatti, and I'm from the Ahmadiyya Muslim community just down the road here in Hadi Mosque, and I'm serving as the role of public affairs officer. And a quick story, I met Fred at the Kipona, who would have known just a few hours after that little boy from our community was the one that got run over for that red minivan. So, and I have to report that little boy is doing remarkably well. So, digressing, I'm here to share with you a little bit about who we are, what the Ahmadiyya Muslim community is, and what we do and our positive contributions to the local community and beyond. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community in Harrisburg is just one of 58 chapters in the United States. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community is a worldwide Islamic movement which is unified under one leader and who promotes peace, service to humanity, and loyalty to our country. Founded in the late 19th century in India by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, the community has grown and established itself in over 220 countries in the world. And it is our belief that Islam is a religion of peace. It is a religion that promotes peace, and peace can only be achieved through equality, love, and understanding and respect for all people, regardless of faith or background. We believe Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is the promised Messiah, awaited by all world religions. We also believe in all the prophets, including Prophet Adam, Moses, Muhammad, and even Jesus, to name a few. Peace be unto all of them. So, as I mentioned, a mere 8 minutes from here is Hadi Mosque. That is our mosque, and that is just one over 16,000 mosques that the Ahmadiyya community has in the world. Our mosque serves as a spiritual center. This mosque is a place where we not only gather for prayer, but also for various community outreach programs, educational events, and interfaith dialogue. Just last Friday, students from Messiah College visited us. They enjoyed our Friday sermon, question and answer session, and we broke bread together. Over the years, the Muslim community has organized and hosted Jalsa Salana at the Pennsylvania Farm Show. We had 10 of them here until it moved to Richmond the last 2 years. Those gatherings fostered a sense of unity and gave us an opportunity to serve the community and share the true message of Islam. Here at the Jalsa Salana at the Farm Show, Jalsa Cares was born, which is a community outreach program that was born and launched right here in Pennsylvania, in the community, partnering with local organizations such as the City of Harrisburg to address their social needs. Neighborhood cleanups took place. We participated in cleaning. We fed the hungry through food banks. And again, we are the largest Muslim community under one leader in the world. No other Muslim community can say that. Our current leader, His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad. He resides in London. He's the 5th successor of the promised Messiah, and he has millions of followers. He guides us daily, weekly through his sermons, and his message is still peace, justice, and understanding, and that's what we're all about. He visited Harrisburg. He also visited the Capitol in 2012, where he spoke to Congress and talked about advocating for peace through just relations between nations. Is that the timer? No.
Yeah.
That is the timer. So I will fast forward really quickly. Let me conclude by expressing that the Ahmadiyya community is not just a religious group, it's an active, caring membership, and we are here to work with you. We have a new missionary coming in next month. I'd like to come back and introduce you to him. We're looking for a house for him, so in Susquehanna Township, so we would appreciate that. So thank you for the time, and we can have any questions. I may be around with this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Glenn. Anybody else wish to address the board tonight? Okay, hearing none. We have 2 sets of minutes to act on. One is October 9th, the Board of Commissioners regular meeting.
Mr. President, I'll move, can I move for both of them at the same time, or do we need
Why not?
one at a time?
You can move either one, or both.
Okay, I didn't know. I'll just move for approval of the minutes from the October 9th, 2025 regular meeting and the October 23rd, 2025 workshop meeting.
One second.
Moved on second. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Recognitions and presentations. Public Safety Director Martin.
Mr. President and Madam Manager, is it okay that we move the promotion up with the awards that we could vote? I think the promotion was.
We're going to do that next, if you'd like to do that.
Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Mr. President, it would be moving up N4.
Yes.
Ladies first, I'm going to call up Patrol Officer Jenna Bretz. Commissioners, thank you for this opportunity. We're going to honor 3 wonderful officers tonight who represent all of our officers and the hard work they perform each day. As we approach Thanksgiving, I do want you to know that we all serve you, the board, and the township with a sincere sense of gratitude. And please know that our officers have no institutional confusion on to whom they belong. We know that we belong to the citizens of the township. Officer Jenna Bretz will be promoted to Patrol Officer First Class tonight. She entered service with our department in June of 2021. She currently serves in our Community Technical Services Unit, and she's also a taser instructor, less lethal weapons instructor, field training officer, and an arson investigator. So it is my pleasure to recommend to the board that, knowing the special trust and confidence in the patriotism, fidelity, and abilities of Jenna Bretz, that I recommend that you appoint her as a patrol officer first class.
Okay, I think we need to back up first, certify the list. Is that right?
It's not list. Did you test for the?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. President, you're correct, yes.
Yes.
I recommend that the civil service list be certified.
Move to certify the civil service.
Got out ahead.
Second. Moved and seconded, and this is for the promotion.
Yes.
All right, comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now the promotion.
Mr. President, I move to promote Patrol Officer Jenna Brett to Patrol Officer First Class. Second.
Moved and seconded. Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Then his wife, who's expecting, will be pinning for rank 1. There you go. It's okay. It's the British look. It's actually upside down. She told you. For a minute, she was in the British Army. That's okay. All right. Congratulations, Jenna. Good work.
Anyone who knows me that knows that when I get nervous, I like to ramble, so I will keep this short. Commissioners, Township employee, thank you for the opportunity for us to be recognized tonight. To my fellow officers, I would not be the police officer that I am today if it wasn't for every single one of you, all ranks. Chief, thank you for your continued support and pushing me to step out of my comfort zone, as I am doing right now. To my family and friends, thank you for everything, your support, pushing me to be the human being that I am. And most importantly, to my wife, listen. God, embarrassing. Thank you for everything that you do for me at home, being my strength, my support, my saving grace. all while carrying our first child. So thank you, everyone.
It is very difficult choosing amongst great police officers and officer of the year, so this year is two officers. I'm going to ask Officer Pima Tamang and Officer H.A. Young to come up. Now, a lot of this, as I've shared with the board over the many years, we have a 5-tool process of expectations of our officers, and I just want to share some statistics in terms of work ethic of these two officers year to date from January 1st as of today. Officer Tamang, 106 foot patrols, 72 honorable endeavors, which is engagements with juveniles and children, 67 vigilant protectors, 7 stand in the gaps, 71 criminal arrests, 152 citations, and 458 traffic warnings. Officer Young, 294 foot patrols, 94 honorable endeavors, 139 vigilant protectors, 30 stand in the gaps, 113 criminal arrests, 121 traffic citations, and 528 written traffic warnings. These are officers, they're both assigned to Beat 4, which is way on the south end. They're hardworking, but it's more than about statistics, because what I'm going to say about each of them is, several weeks ago, Officer Young, I was contacted by a father whose son died tragically, and they weren't home. The son was in a different state. And as I've shared with the board before, one of the uncertain, and unfortunate things we have to do as police officers is death notifications. And how we do that leaves an indelible impression on the receiver. And this father who lost his son reached out to me to commend Officer Young in the way that he performed that notification and the comforting words that were given to that father in that moment. So it's always about more than statistics. For Officer Tamang, he's someone that's out there every shift making a difference and building trust. And I know I shared with the board a couple months ago in executive session, the #1 mission of a police department is to obtain and sustain public trust. He is doing that in some of our new communities with our Bhutanese and Nepalese population, and he's making a difference for all of us in this township. So more than about statistics, but statistics are work ethic. So I commend these two officers. Officer Tamang, congratulations, good job.
Thank you, everyone. I couldn't have done it without my team. This job's all about teamwork, and it would be impossible without all my brothers and sisters over here and those who couldn't make it. So thank you all, and thank you, Chief.
Again, I'm a little nervous about speaking in the front, so first of all, I want to say thank you, Chief Martin. As an immigrant from Nepal, I always want to be a police officer, and Susquehanna Township that gave me opportunity. So I'm grateful to be working as a police officer in Susquehanna Township and serving the citizen here. And thank you for that as well. And I want to thank you, my family, as well as my sergeant Benefit and all the team members who had everything. I'll be a police officer as I am without their help. A supervisor, colleague, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, we'll move on in the agenda. Reports and committees. Buildings and grounds, Commissioner Rock.
No report, Mr. President.
Budget and finance, Commissioner Sanderson.
Thank you. Briefly, it's been a grand year for Susquehanna Township budget decision making. We started off and hit the ground running with our brand new manager, and I think I scared her a little bit when I said that we usually do this in 3 months, and I think she thought I was crazy. And of course I was. But that's generally where the intensity comes with Susquehanna Township budget process. We had a lot of staffing updates. We had a lot of financial record keeping updates. We had a lot of work to do, projecting not just year over year, but for 5 years. It's been a lot of work, to be quite honest with you. And I commend the committee, the Budget and Finance Committee. Everyone stuck with it, even at unusual hours. And certainly the discussion that the entire board has had with itself has been very, very important. So without our staff that carried us, giving us the individual particular numbers in the details, I don't think any of this would have been possible, because we had a lot of choices to consider with revenue, with expenses, and thank you everybody, not named in particular, but recognized generally. We couldn't have done it without you. So I will defer specifically to Manager Everly to give us all an overview of the budget that we are to vote upon for preliminarily tonight.
Would you like me to do that now?
Please do.
Doug's out, sorry.
I'll get them.
No, we have it later on in the agenda.
Yeah, so,
We'll just do that?
Sure.
Let's just do that.
We don't have
Let's
to do
just
it
get
now.
committee
thank you for
stuff.
that, the compliment. I just say we couldn't do it without you and the budget committee and the guidance that we had.
We'll do it in 2 months next year.
Is that a promise? It'll be quicker next year because I think we have the, so the template moving forward, so I think you're right, it might be 3 months.
Yeah. So I think honestly, we have as complete a budget prepared as we've ever had. It's even better, honestly, than some prior years we've done really deep dive, and this year I think was about as thorough as we've ever done, even with a greater expectation of our needs, the township's needs. So that's my report, generally speaking. It's a good budget. It's actually the only thing that the township has to do. Every year, the township has to pass a budget, and it has to be balanced. This is balanced. It doesn't lean too heavily one way or the other. It makes a lot of reasonable decisions and a lot of hard choices. So I think it's a good budget. That's my opinion. But that's the report, and we'll go through a presentation a little later.
Well done, thank you. Public Works, Commissioner Napper.
Yes, Mr. President. In the month of October, the Public Works Department performed milling and paving repairs on North Paragus Avenue and Edgemont Road. The 2025 paving projects are now underway, and the ADA curbs and ramps are being built. This includes inlet repairs at Paxton Church Road and Iron Off Road. As a final note, Mr. President, street sweeping was completed throughout the township, and now the leaf collection is beginning, or has begun, throughout the township. And this ends my report, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Health and Sanitation, Commissioner Isro.
Yes, Mr. President, this, briefly, I believe that this coming Saturday will be the last yard waste pickup until next March. That's all I have. Oh, other than, yeah, in January, the Christmas tree, so you get a reprieve and can get some of your yard waste out with the Christmas trees. That's what I think.
We're not advocating that. Understood. Just sneak it in. Well, thanks for that. We've been chitting there. Admin and Personnel, Commissioner Napper.
No report, sir.
Thank you. Police Commissioner Engel.
No report.
Thank you. Fire and EMS, Commissioner Isro.
Yes, Mr. President. There were 1,147 calls for the fire service year to date. Rescue averages 5.7 firefighters per call, and they presently have 2 live-ins. Average response time is 2 minutes 23 seconds, which is slightly better than last quarter. Progress averages 7.7 firefighters per call, and they presently have 6 live-ins, and their average response time is 1 minute 6 seconds, which remains fairly consistent with the past. Some significant recent events, October 30th was the school district's annual trunk or treat, which Progress assisted in, averaging close to 2,500 participants, which I have to add, I'm glad they didn't make it to my house. I would have run out of candy. Progress also partnered with the Progress Church of God on October 31st for their trunk or treat in the parking lot of Station 32 with 200 participants. Rescue hosted an open house and pumpkin painting on October 23rd from 6 to 9:30 p.m. at the Public Safety Building, and I know it was a success. My 2 grandkids were there, were very happy with their pumpkin painting. Currently, we, in the other significant event is working on the options for the new Station 32 Public Safety Building, and I believe there will be a presentation coming up at a future meeting, perhaps I think next month. Then quickly, other service events coming up. December 13th is Santa Breakfast at Rescue Fire Company. December 20th, Santa visits in the Progress Fire Company District. The fire truck that goes around at all the stops in its area. And on the next day, the 21st, our Rescue Fire Company will be doing the same with Santa. The times will be posted on the township and other social media platforms and by the 1st of December. And I know they normally do postings at the actual stops with times as well. I'm guessing they'll still do that. And lastly, just a couple notes here. Former Assistant Chief of Rescue Fire Robert Traylor's memorial service was held yesterday. Former Assistant Chief of Progress Fire Lee Coburn has been placed in hospice. The Chief wanted me to just note both has served Susquehanna Township and our neighbors with professionalism, integrity, and were mentors to hundreds of firefighters throughout the years. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Planning and Zoning Commissioner Rothrock.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. The Planning Commission in October was canceled, but I want to remind everyone there's still a vacancy on the Planning Commission and also a vacancy for another alternate. There was a zoning hearing board meeting last night. There was one item on the agenda, which was 2263 Paxton Church Road, which is in Brandywine Plaza in the 7th Ward. The lessee of that location was requesting to establish a skill game facility at the property consisting of 25 skill games. That would have required a special exception to establish an arcade in the zone, which was a commercial neighborhood zone district, and also a variance to establish an arcade within 1,000 feet of a church. Actually, it was within 1,000 feet of 2 churches. I have to say, Mac did a great job presenting our case. He went through all the violations or the things that were not meeting, and both the variance and the special exception were denied. That concludes my report.
So, the whole request we denied, special.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. Commissioner Sanderson, you want to amend your report?
Yes, briefly. It wasn't just a budget report. There's also a pension report, which I've neglected because we only meet twice a year. The pension committee did meet, and in brief, the 2 pensions are well-funded and well-administered. Investment returns are proceeding as expected, and there's always an adjustment to be made, but the bottom line is that they have recovered quite significantly from prior years and stand at funding ratios of 85% and 75% respectively. So the goal ultimately is 100% funding. That's sort of a mathematical opportunity to achieve, which you never really do achieve in most cases. It's so at 85% funding, 75% funding is healthy, and the pensions are well administered, and I just wanted to let everyone know it was a healthy and productive meeting. That's all. Thank you.
Great, thank you. School Board, Commissioner Palomo.
The next school board meeting will be on Monday, the 17th of November at 7 p.m. at the school board administrative offices. That's my report, sir.
All right. Authority, Commissioner Napper.
Yes, Mr. President, the Susquehanna Township Sewer Authority employees completed the storm sewer repair at Gorse Road and Grandview Road. Staff cleaned the Fox Run pumping station in participation of upcoming improvement projects. The improvements consist of replacing all new wires, a well pump, a well pipe. This was a big savings doing this work in-house rather than contracting this work out to a contractor. Not to mention, staff is televising the Latchmere storm sewer system for stormwater repairs, and once completed, this information will be sent to GHD Engineering for a proposed scope of work. And as a final note, Mr. President, the Sewer Authority management staff attended Gorman Rupp's pump station training. Following this training, staff was able to update the Apple Tree pump station control panel. And this ends my report, Mr. President.
That's a beautiful voice you got there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Made
Well
for
done.
radio.
The velvet fog. All right, Shade Tree, Commissioner Cross.
Yes, during the month of October, the Shade Tree Commission was able to see that the free trees that were given out to residents were planted, and I think that was all completed with the help of Public Works. So we thank the staff of Public Works and all those who helped to do that. The next Shade Tree meeting will be on November 20th at 4 p.m.
It's a Christmas meeting. All right, communications, Mr. Norford's not here. Gary, do you have anything?
No.
We have a newsletter coming up, right?
Yeah, we have a deadline next month for content for the first newsletter for next year. It'll be, the anticipated mailing date would be January 6th.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Parks and Rec, Commissioner Falona.
The next meeting will be this Tuesday, the 18th of November, here in the township, 6 p.m.
Okay. And Human Relations?
No report.
Yeah, I noticed we did get another, not a resignation, but they don't wish to be reappointed. So we're gonna have to tackle that early in the year for the whole host of committees. Yeah, volunteers are important. All right, bids and contracts, nothing. Ordinances, resolutions, et cetera. First up is Rob Martin, who just got back, which would authorize the installation of an ADA accessible parking space at 28 North 34th Street in Susquehanna Township. Chief?
Yes, request was made to conduct a study for handicap parking spot. We did that study. It does recommend that placement is given, and I concur.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved in second. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is Resolution 2025 R15, which would designate the township as the beneficiary of a Phase 1 and Phase 2 environmental study conducted by DEP. You want to take that, Mr. Knauss?
Yes, sir, thank you. Been working with DEP on a grant that they received from the federal EPA on addressing brownfields within the state of Pennsylvania. And we had previously done a Phase 1 on the Lot 16 site behind PSECU. That plan has expired. They only have a shelf life of 6 months. So DEP is going to do another Phase 1 for us, as well as a Phase 2. So if there's anything that we need to be aware of on that property, we will know that. And at this point, there is no cost to the township. We are just the beneficiary of the report, and we will work with DEP as we go through that process.
Is this part of a, well, I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
I make a motion.
Moved and seconded. Is this part of a larger study beyond just Lot 16?
No, the DEP is doing multiple sites throughout the state, but this is just focusing, this portion is just focusing on Lot 16.
Okay.
Can with lot 16, refresh my memory. I know it's over by, off of Elmerton by PSECU. Was there a cost? I mean, because we're acquiring it, is being donated to us from General Services? I can't remember if there was some fees.
Your solicitor's
We are in the process of getting it from General Services. It's being donated to us.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted to just confirm that. Thank you.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I heard that beat. Yeah. Next one is authorization to solicit an RFP for plan updates. Mr. Kness.
Yes, we're seeking authorization to solicit requests for proposals to update the Sustainable Susquehanna 2030 Comprehensive Plan, the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, and the Township-wide Bicycle Pedestrian Greenway Plan. And the reason for the update is to look at the consideration of the commercial recreation impact fee to help the township address the active transportation needs that is identified in the bicycle pedestrian plan that was adopted last year. So we're seeking to get those updates so we can start that process and look at that fee as a possibility.
Mr. President, I'll move for approval of the motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I have some questions. So if I understand it, this is looking for a study that's going to either support or not the idea of installing this commercial recreation impact fee. Is that right?
Yeah, what it'll essentially do is it'll help us identify that we have the commercial traffic, or traffic from those commercial areas, and the linkages that we've approved in the bicycle pedestrian plan to the various commercial areas. And what this update would do is identify it in the plan, which then gives us the standing to move that impact fee forward into a formal ordinance, which we'll be working with the zoning hearing board and MAC on developing through this process overall. MAC and I have been working together on this for, I don't know, a couple months now, as an option to look at as a possible revenue source to address the needs.
So when you say would give us the standing, is there a legal requirement for us to do a study before we implement a fee like this?
Mac, can you help me on that one? I'm not the zoning guy.
So from everything that we have, good evening.
Good evening.
From everything that we've discussed with professionals, and we've met with our legal team once on this, this is kind of a newer concept in the state. There are probably less than 20 statewide that implement this. There's nothing in the municipalities planning code that would require a study like this, but every interaction we've had, this would be good practice to put together a study like this. I think it would give us stronger justification, and it could be something we could point back to as to why it was established. So it wouldn't be legally necessary from my understanding, but you know, it would just be good planning practice to have this study adopted as an addendum to the plans that Mr. Knaus mentioned. There is no legal requirement to do a study before you enact a fee like this. However, there's always in a group of 20 people, somebody who will say, how'd you pick that number? And the study would allow you to show both need and number. So they're exactly right about that.
Okay, thank you.
Good job. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is a Chick-fil-A plan that I'm going to need a motion to table.
Motion to table.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
We don't need any more public justification, do we? Mac or Teresa? On that?
No, sir, this was at the request of the applicant, that this
Okay.
be tabled until the December 11th meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the appointment to announce. Request. Staff reports, Township Manager.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple of things. The staff, the township held a open enrollment event this week. We had vendors such as Capital Blue Cross, Benecon, Connect Care, Mazzetti Sullivan, Eckelbert Financial, all here for the event and for our employees. And just want to give a special thanks to Heavenly Smith for making all the arrangements. I think there was a lot of information that was exchanged with our employees, healthcare, and then other benefits that we have and are very fortunate to have. So it was a very good event, very well attended. Secondly, we had a skills game meeting with owners. We had about 20 owners that came in, and just a shout out to, nice job to Mac and Joe, Eric and Joe, and Officer Tamang actually helped us gather some folks for that meeting. It went really well. Great information was exchanged. They seemed very appreciative of the opportunity to come in and talk to us about our new ordinance and new form. And then lastly, just a reminder, our new trash service will be starting the cart deliveries December 1st and will go through December 15th. We've received some calls, they sort of slowed down, but I anticipate they will ramp up once the carts are delivered. We were able to negotiate a better price for the second trash can. If the first trash can isn't enough, they will give us a rate of $55 for additional carts. And also the price is $99 a quarter. We have 96 or 35 gallon carts. And of course the service is mandatory. One last thing, we will be sending out a robocall to all residents. Penn Waste has agreed to do that for us, just to alert everyone that the new trash service is coming. And so there's, some people won't look at the website, but we thought this was a nice opportunity to get the message out there to direct all of our residents to our website for any additional information or questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Safety Police, you have anything, Chief?
Nothing, sir.
Thank you. Fire, do we have anything on the fire front?
Nothing, sir.
Thank you. Public Works, Todd?
Good evening, Commissioners. Just a few, two highlighted items that I'd like to bring up. Leaf collection. If you've noticed, the leaves are falling. We are out diligently picking them up every day. We're getting calls reminding residents when their day is. If we finish an area for that day, that designated area, we move ahead. So we get calls, you're supposed to be here tomorrow, you're here today, so we explain that. Thanksgiving week, we only work Monday through Wednesday, but our intention is to get the entire township done that week, including Thursday and Friday's areas. We know a lot of folks have family coming over, they don't want leaves in front of our house, so we'll make every effort to get those collected. In the coming weeks, I've been meeting with emergency services and public safety to go over winter plowing operations so we can have a coordinated effort. Hopefully it won't snow, but if it does, we will be prepared. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Engineer, you got anything?
Board has my report. Is there any questions?
No.
Good. Thank you.
Oh, I do have a question. In Boyd Park, if I recall, we made the final payment to the contractor with the understanding they were going to remove the erosion control sock, I call them socks.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah, we need to get the conservation district out to give the blessing, essentially, to remove those socks. And Doug pinged me last week, said let's try to get that done. So I'll be reaching out to Flyway to get them out there and have a walkthrough with the conservation district.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Solicitor, you got anything?
I did want to thank the staff. As the board knows, the public should know that on October 31st, we closed on a transfer of the Walker Mill Road property from the school district to the township. That was started in late 2023. And we approved a memorandum of understanding with the school district in February or March of 2025, and finally have acquired this property. This property will allow us some more flexibility with regard to future fire station improvements, whatever they may be. It's been a process, like it always is, in trying to move those kind of pieces of land together, but the administration has been very supportive, and so has the board, and I'm pleased to say that that closing has occurred and the property has been recorded in the name of the township. So that's something to check off. So we're pleased that we've been able to get that done. So that, along with the other things that I've added in executive session, is my report.
Thank you, sir. Parks and Rec, anything else, Doug?
I have one thing. I just wanted to let everyone know and remind everyone that we will have our, I think it's third annual Candy Cane Fest at Boyd Park on December 6th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So there's activities, hot chocolate, and different things for families to come out and enjoy the park. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to consent agenda. There are two items. Approval of statement of bills paid for October 31st, 2025, and ratify a proclamation for Stanley Rawson, as previously mentioned.
Motion to adopt consent agenda. Second.
Moved and second. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, your big moment. Moving on to the budget. And, tonight we're going to consider a preliminary budget and turn it over to Manager Eberly at this point.
Thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about the preliminary budget. Before I do so, I just want to express my appreciation to some key individuals. First, as I've already mentioned, I'd like to thank the Budget and Finance Committee, especially Chair Sanderson. I appreciated his guidance through the process. It was my first time doing a budget, and he was shoulder to shoulder with me on many conversations about how the budget process should work. Also, Commissioners Lynch, Fayalona, Barczyk, and Napper for your diligent review and the going through the process with us. I also want to recognize an excellent support team, the finance team, Tracy Eisman and Allison Burke. They were absolutely pivotal to the success of the budget process. They spent countless hours meticulously preparing multiple drafts. I don't know how many drafts we were up to, but we coordinating all the department meetings and working closely with department heads to refine every detail. Their dedication and tireless efforts have been truly instrumental throughout the entire budget cycle. And this year, we relied on our department heads to play a critical role in managing their department budgets, and their commitment to seeking creative opportunities for cost reduction and enhanced efficiencies is commendable. And then a special thanks to Leanne Hoffman and Laura Miller for their essential administrative support. And finally, I want to acknowledge our Board of Commissioners. Your engagement, unwavering support, and diligent review of the budget are greatly appreciated and foundational to our success. Thank you. All right. Should I wink? Am I supposed to wink? Okay, there we go. We always talk about buckets. So I would like to just take a few minutes to describe the buckets that we actually discuss at all times. First of all, the general fund bucket. That revenue comes primarily from taxes, permits, license, and covers the township's core operational responsibilities. Secondly, the capital improvement fund is funded by the transfer from the general fund and is created for strategic planning, financial stability, and asset management. And allows the Board of Commissioners to engage in long-term strategic planning, invest in major projects, and take time to plan and execute big projects. Third, the fire fund. The revenue comes from a dedicated mill rate and is essential because it guarantees a stable and dedicated source of revenue solely for maintaining and improving the township's fire services. Fourth, the street light fund. This is revenue that is dedicated for an assessment only to those certain properties with street lights. The highway fund is dedicated sustainable revenue stream for the maintenance and construction and infrastructure in the township, and we receive an annual allocation based on the miles of the road in the township from a tax on fuel consumption. And Parks and Recreation, that fund is a developer fund, and that comes from impact fees in our residential the projects in the township. All right, so let's just a general outlook on what our 2026 budget. I think the interesting part of that, if you add all of those funds together, we manage oversight on almost $30 million of funding. So moving on to the general fund. The general fund, this year we're talking about a 0.3 mil increase, which adds about $527,000 to the revenue. And the revenue increase over time is about 3%. And that's generally driven from our tax increases, while our expenses are increasing at a rate of a little bit faster, about 6%. We anticipate in this budget 113,951 deficit that will be covered from our fund reserve. So the key drivers in our general fund budget and the expenses, they include workforce, our pension. The healthcare this year was a tremendous expense, 18.5%. The insurance raised 10%. Cost of living was 3%. And we dedicated a substantial amount up to the transfer to our capital improvement fund so we can manage those capital projects. And did want to highlight that we did include the anticipated program of the rental registration that will be kicking off in 2026. This is a chart you may have seen before. It highlights what's called a structural gap. And what the blue line represents revenue, and generally you think the revenue should be on top, but it's actually the inverse. And it just shows over time that to 2030, without some adjustments that we will continue to make, the gap will be over $2 million between revenue and expenses. So the capital improvement fund, this year we budgeted $879,561 for projected expenses. It was balanced by using money from the reserve, transferred from the transportation fund, and also the $455,000 we transferred from the general fund. So what are we going to do with that funding? So we have a couple things we're going to look at. Through a grant, we're going to look at doing a purchase of a backhoe, a portable radio, salt shed that needs to be replaced, financial software, some scanners, conference tables, police department renovation from painting and flooring, and 3 police vehicles. That totals 800, that's okay, I got it. Next is the fire fund. Just wanted to note that in 25 we had a $0.25 mil increase, and then in 26 we're looking at a $0.2 mil increase. And the current budget for the fire is at $94,757, which will come out of the reserve. So the fire fund operating, we'll look at some of the things that are in the budget. It's bouncing quickly, then I can talk. There's an increase in vehicle maintenance expense, increase in stipends for our volunteers. At the recommendation of the fire chief, we're looking at a nice increase for our volunteers. We're making transfer to the capital improvement fund, and we're making a small allocation change for the Progress Fire Company. So what's in the fire fund capital improvement fund? We've reserved $500,000 for the down payment on a new apparatus, and then we have a placeholder for a repair at Progress Fire Station totaling $96,000. Parks and Recreation. That's what's commonly called as the developer fund again. The anticipated fees for 2026 are $600,000. We're anticipating some grants coming through as well. And some of the projects for 26 that will be funded out of the developers fund include the Veterans Park tot lot repair and replacement, sign improvements, Wedgewood Hill Park design, Logan Park invasive species removal, Buford Park Hunt Playground, and Paxton Church North Trail. So that's only part of Parks and Recreation. They've been diligently working on a 7-park master plan, and just continue to invest in our communities, and just want to highlight the work that's being done with Wedgewood Hill Park, Plum Alley Park, Margaret's Grove, Apple Creek Park, Lashmere Park, Donald Stabler Park, and Shunt Mill Park. More to come on that. Streetlight, that's a pretty stable fund. That is 178 of the revenues and expenses that come into the streetlight fund, and the rest of that expense is funded out of the general fund, $165,000 to balance that fund. And liquid fuels. So liquid fuels, we get $825,000 annually from the state, and that goes into that account. And this year we're anticipating spending $776,000 out of the liquid fuels. And that would include thermoplastic long lines, microsurfacing, adaptive signal project. We're looking at doing 2 projects, Arley Grant, Green Light Go grant. There's a vehicle lease, snow and ice control, guide rail repair, and line painting. All right, so all of that adds up. We've talked a little bit about tax increase. So what we're looking at is a total of 0.5 mil increase. So what does that mean to the average? We picked $250,000 home with the assessed value of $165,875. So the difference between 25 and 26 on that value is annually $54, which is about a 6% increase. And thank you, everyone. Appreciate the budget finance. Again, it's Sean Sanderson, Jody Rabarczyk, Frank Lynch, Fred Bayalona, Steve Napper, and then our staff. So thank you. I just wanted to thank you for bringing that up so I could read that. Just one of the things, by responsibly investing in our critical services today, we honor the strong foundation for those before us, ensuring that we deliver a resilient, healthy, and proud community that remains an exceptional place for all who live, work, and play in Susquehanna Township for generations to come. That ends my presentation, sir.
All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the preliminary budget. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to adopt the preliminary operating budget.
Second.
Authorize advertisement for the budget in December.
Moved and seconded by Commissioner Raymond. Any comments or questions? That was a good posting. That was a good presentation. It was clear.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
To the point. Thank you.
We all worked on it hard. We like the buckets. Talking about buckets. I just wanted them to spin a little. Would have been happy.
Yeah. All right. No comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next up is the preliminary tax rates and assessments for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026.
Thank you. This follows up to the information that was in the preliminary budget. We were proposing an increase of 0.3 mils for the general and 0.2 for the fire. Streetlight would remain the same.
Motion to adopt.
Second. Moved and seconded.
Right, it's to
Comments,
advertise.
questions?
It's to advertise.
And to
So
advertise.
sorry.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we did that the first time and we have to do it again.
Correct.
How many years have you been doing this?
Yeah, 2, 3.
Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, staff. Great. All of you. It was a lot of work. Some pain, but it was it's a good document. It's fair. Okay, next up is authority inspectors. Todd, you want to take that?
Good evening again. Clint and I are up here tonight to request a recommendation we've been working on for quite some time. One of the things that was tasked when Clint and I were hired was to try and find ways to save money and better use of tax dollars. So we actually, I got to give most of the credit to Clint for this one. This was his baby. He's thought this through the beginning. We've spent a lot of time on this to utilize existing in-house employees to create 2 sewer inspector project inspectors for the sewer authority, which are coming out of sewer authority funds. As you can see from the agenda and the memo that I provided, the hourly rate that we are paying currently for engineering inspectors, we can do that in-house at a much more efficient cost. And there's a number of projects that are coming up. Edgemont Storm Sewer Project, AR-222, and sewer replacement project, among others, as well as the Fox Run Force Main, was just recently awarded. Clint himself has trained numerous inspectors from HRG and from GHD, so the training for these individuals will all come from in-house. Clint has developed a test for them to take. There could be the savings, we're projecting in excess hopefully between $200,000 and $250,000 per year out of the sewer authority fund, as well as there could be, the potential cost savings could be more once we take those 2 positions and hire 2 more positions at a much lower hourly rate. The savings could be more depending on what employees would fit into that position and successfully in it. So that's what I have to say about that for now. If there's any questions you have, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Okay. So,
Was this figured into the budget? But this is out of the sewer budget, right?
Correct. This would be funded out of the sewer, and depending on the outcome, it can be adjusted. We have not presented the final budget to the Susquehanna Township Authority yet.
Some of that with the budget, some of the fees that we get from whether it's HRG, GHD, the project fees that they give us, that inspector fee is figured into some of the job costs. So as we did discuss how they will be funded out of the sewer budget, that's also going to be a savings from the projected job costs that we're getting from the engineering fund, because part of that budgeting, or part of that scope of work from them and their costs is factoring in using them as engineers. Now, we're still going to have to rely on their inspectors, because it's all going to be on the size of the scope of the job. Sometimes these contractors will bring in 4, 5, 6 different crews. So keep in mind, we just did a number of comparison of 2 inspectors, 1 lead inspector, and just used GHD's numbers for like the sewer, the storm stuff. That number, we're still going to need to rely on them, obviously, depending on the size of the job and the scope of the work. But keep in mind, that the cost can be considerably more by just us doing that in-house.
And these positions are union positions, correct? So we'll have to discuss that with the union as well.
I think that, to your point, Commissioner Napper, this is an innovative suggestion
I think if the board votes to create these positions, that is with the condition that we will have to develop a job description, we'll have to have a discussion with the union. Of course, they won't be doing inspections 24/7, 365, so there will be other union work that they'll do. And so there'll be some, as there are with every new position, some, trimming and fitting to make sure it works within the framework that we have. So this is about creating those positions, and the next step is to fit those positions into what we have in terms of a union contract and get the union sign off on that. But this is the necessary first step. There's still some work to do.
So we're voting for
The concept.
I have a question. I'm not familiar with this inspection process. Is there enough work for 2 full-time people?
Yeah, I don't really anticipate, until they get, if you guys approve it, until they would actually get negotiated, figured out, and put in. We don't have a lot of projects starting in 26, but after that, the sanitary and storm sewer upgrades are going to be for a long time. And as long as, we're doing those projects, then, we're going to need those inspectors.
My understanding was, though, they wouldn't be like full-time though, that they would do the work as required, but then when they're not doing inspections, et cetera, they'd be doing their other workers.
Right, as we're looking at some of these other jobs with the capital projects, they're going to be.
Full-time?
Yeah, they're going to be full-time.
Okay.
There's some big projects in the works that come out, and the contractors work every day of the week. They're going to be out there with them. And even if there is a lapse in, just say between one job ending and one job starting, then there's still a lot of paperwork they have to do as far as like red line drawings, finalizing stuff, getting stuff filed out. So there is stuff to be done, and then we also, when there's lateral repairs and stuff like that, these guys will be able to do that as well. And then, like I said, there's going to be plenty of work for them to do.
Without looking back at the materials, are we also proposing then that we would have to replace those 2 with 2 new employees to take their current work?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm proposing.
Okay.
And Commissioner Rothrock, to kind of expand a little bit on your question. For instance, the Fox Run pump station, that's an 18-month project. It's supposed to be at least 18 months long. In that time, another project will be in the development or potentially bid and be started. If there is, and that was a big question that we can try to answer, okay, if there's downtime, we don't have a project going on for a few months, what do we do then? What do we do with those employees? One of the things that we are undertaking and working with the stormwater coordinator and the GIS technician is to inventory and map out the entire township stormwater. So we can start to properly repairs and know that we're making repairing the worst first. That we're not just picking what we need because we want to pick that up. So that's one of the projects we're inventorying, categorizing, scoring, and giving pipes and inlets a rating to develop where we want to be. That's one of a dozen things, but that's the biggest one. Now that we have, if they're not on the project, we can push them towards that and help with that.
Is this on site? Anytime a contractor is working, you have an inspector there, is that how it works? That would be a lot of work.
And for those inventory projects that you are thinking of, we will need people there anyway, so if we don't have this, then we'll have to subcontract.
We would still have to pay, correct?
And in the spirit of cooperation from our agreement of, 10, 12 years ago, in the event that there is not enough work or there's downtime, they'd be cross-trained, jump on a plow or pick up leaves and do all the other things that good public works employees do, right?
It's all hands on deck when it comes to whatever we need.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, to Mike's point, I think that's what the job requirements and job description should reflect. So I'm very clear on that. I know that there's this old mentality, I'm a sewer guy, or I'm a highway guy. Right. Steve's breaking down those walls. It's still a process.
No, we've
We
gotten a
understand.
lot better with that. and
Yeah.
We're getting better.
Good, that's great.
I mean, another thing, and even prior to jobs, like when we televise storm lines and sanitary lines, our guys TV, and then we send them to engineering firm for them to review. These guys will be, if there's in between projects, they're going to be reviewing that, picking the lines that may or may not need some attention from the engineers. So that's another cost we're going to save just by paying, an engineering firm just their video of a sewer pipe or a storm pipe. So.
Well, we appreciate you saving the money. Thank you.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Leanne's gonna kill you guys.
It's the Fred, it's the Freds.
All right. Any comments or questions? Aside from what yours, I think it was offered. All those in favor?
Aye.
No opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys. Good luck. Commissioner comments? Anybody wish to comment?
Yes, if I may just
Nobody?
very briefly.
Okay, well, let's move on. Go ahead.
Want to alert Doug, you may already know about this, but with the one storm we had about a week and a half ago, 3 trees got knocked down in Logan Farm Park along the roadway. Just so you know, to clear you, if you didn't know that'd be something to take a look at. They fell onto the trail.
Done.
Okay, thanks.
Done.
Done.
Okay.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank whoever's responsible for planting new trees in Boyd Park. I don't know whether that was part of the plan or
The shade tree and public works.
You're pointing at each other.
Public Works.
I'm giving you credit, I'm not giving you
We had to
blame.
find somewhere to put them, so we called it up.
Well, you place them, where you put them, I think is really, really good. So hopefully they'll survive the winter and be beautiful next year. Thank you.
How's the lighting situation, Boyd?
The foundation support for the bollards are in. We're anticipating installation next week of the new bollards, and they'll be operational probably immediately.
You should do a tree lighting.
We can do a bollard lighting.
What?
We'll do a bollard lighting.
Well, I don't think you can plug anything into these things.
No.
Bring out a
They're
generator or
self-contained
something.
lights.
Yeah, these are basically solar, right?
They're all solar, yeah.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. We've called, and any questions or comments on that motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We're out of here.
Oh.